Bismillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to start carboxylic acid and derivatives, and we shall have a talk about the nomenclature of carboxylic acid and derivatives of carboxylic acids. The key concept that we are going to discuss in today's lecture, they include, first of all, we shall have an introduction of carboxylic acid, and then we shall discuss that how carboxylic acid can be named. And you can see that there are many ways how by which carboxylic acids can be named. Sometimes they have their own trivial or common names there. So we shall have some examples of those common names, and then we shall move to the IUPAC or systematic nomenclature. And then because carboxylic acid have different types of, like you can say, subcategories. They could be aliphatic carboxylic acid, or they could be aromatic. They could be substituents on aliphatic as well as on aromatic carboxylic acid, and there could be two carboxyl group present in one compound. So in all these different you can say classes or different categories, we name how we can name them. We shall study all about this in this lecture. And then we shall have a general overview of different carboxylic acid derivatives, and that how which you can say that so let's start with carboxylic acids. Basically, carboxylic acid is a class of compound. You can say these are the organic compounds containing carbon and hydrogen. But the main functional group that is present in these compounds, they have a carboxyl group. Carboxyl, we say that is the COOH group, where there is a carbonyl group CO group attached to a hydroxyl group. So in this case, these compounds are very important. They have very important applications, and their utility is very significant. As you can see here, they are this is how we can write carboxyl group, or you can say carboxylic acid, because carboxyl group is COOH, and when it is attached to R is basically, it could be hydrogen or any carbon skeleton, and then this kind of compound is known as carboxylic acids. These carboxylic acid is the most frequently encountered class of organic compounds in nature. Let's have a look on some naturally occurring carboxylic acids. Basically, carboxylic acids are very common in our environment. We have been using vinegar in our household, in kitchen. You can say that we know about the ding of these wasps, and also our citrus fruits, they have these carboxylic acids. You can say that let's start with lemon or citrus fruits. It has citric acid, as you can see there it is written here. And then in milk we have lactic acid. The formula is shown here. But this is not limited to these acids. We have other like you can say that acid that are found in nature. Just like in butter we have butanoic acid, or commonly it is known as butyric acid. And there are other acids like the acid found in the wasp sting. You can say that the stingy thing that we feel when we get bite by the wasp, it is basically formic acid that hits us. And then there are other acids present, like we have some they are very, like acetic acid is present in vinegar. So these acids are very common in nature, and we have multiple uses of them. Starting from the nomenclature of carboxylic acid with these natural resources. Basically, these carboxylic acids can be named by common way. You can say that they can be named by the systematic way. You can say that International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, or IUPAC systematic way. So how we name that, because these common names are sometimes derived from the source where these carboxylic acids are found. You can say that they are just given some trivial name with respect to their uses. So they could be anything related to these carboxylic acids, but when we are talking about their common name. But when we talk about systematic way, then we have to follow some rules to name these compounds. So here we are talking about the nomenclature of carboxylic acid, but the common names are some basic carboxylic acid. We derive them from the Latin names that indicates the first original nature source of carboxylic acid. Just like the very first member of this homologous series, we have formic acid. Formic acid is basically found in ants, and this one is the name is basically derived from the Latin source name, because ants are called formica in Latin, so that's how it was named like formic acid. Then also acetic acid is found in vinegar, so vinegar is called acetum in Latin, so it is the name of the acid was said to be acetic acid. Similarly, the 3 carbon containing carboxylic acid, it is found in basic fats, so basic fat is related to propio word, so this acid was named as propionic acid. And when we talk about the 4 carbon containing carboxylic acid, so it is found in rancid butter. Rancid butter is what, when we say that the butter that has some water in it, and then when it goes bad it gives a bit smell, so this kind of butter we call it as rancid butter, and it has this acid. Because of this acid we get you can say that unpleasant you can say unpleasant taste in there, you can say the sharp stingy taste in there, so that taste is because of this acid we call it butyric acid, or 4 carbon containing acid. Then we have 5 carbon containing acid. It is also it is commonly known as valeric acid. So valeric acid name is derived from the source, because there is a herb named valerian, so from this herb it is named as valerian herb. The next member, that is the 6th carbon containing carboxylic acid, it is basically known as caproic acid, and caproic acid is basically, the name is derived from the goat, because it is found in the goat, and the word used as for its origin was caper. So this is how they have named. They have used some prefixes like form, acid, and propion, or butyr, or valor, or capro, or it could be in case of aromatic acid we have benzo. So that the suffix ic acid is used as the end of the chain length of carboxylic acid. So after form it goes formic acid, and then next member is acetic acid, then we have propionic acid, then butyric acid, and valeric acid, caproic acid, and then to benzoic acid if we have a benzene ring attached to carboxyl group. Okay, now we are going to start the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, or IUPAC name of aliphatic carboxylic acid. Basically, when we name aliphatic carboxylic acid, you may be familiar with the nomenclature of alkanes. So their basic names are derived from their parent name of alkane. Just like we have names of alkanes of one homologous series starting from methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, and then octane, nonane, and decane. So what we have to do here, that we have to add the OIC acid, like oic acid, at the end of the parent name of alkane, after dropping A and E of the at the end of this alkane name. Just like we have one carbon skeleton, if we have one carbon skeleton of methane, but when we are talking about a carboxylic acid with only one carbon atom, then the one carbon containing carboxylic acid, it is named as methane oic acid, or methane. After methane we drop E and then add OIC acid, so this is how it is named as methanoic acid. And then the next member, that is the ethane. Ethane is basically named as the 2 carbon skeleton, and 2 carbon skeleton has the name ethane, and this ethane has is named after dropping E as ethanoic acid. And then after that, the 3 carbon skeleton alkane name is propane. So we drop the last letter E, and then it is named as propanoic acid after dropping E. So now we are going to look at how these like carboxylic acids, they are named through IUPAC system, but they have certain rules, we have to follow them. So the systematic names of substituted aliphatic carboxylic acid, how they can be named by IUPAC nomenclature. For this one we have to take into consideration the main, you can say the main skeleton that has carbon atoms in there. So it means that we have to identify the parent alkane chain, just like we have done in case of alkane compounds, but in this case that parent chain must have carboxyl group in there. So the very first point, or very first step in this case, is the identification of parent chain that contains most of the carbon atoms, if not all, but the most important thing is it must have carboxyl group. And then the second thing we can do is the number the parent chain from carbon of carboxyl group, that is the carboxyl group is carbon number 1. It is always true in the naming of you can say that all compounds, that the most oxidized carbon atom, it is named as number 1. So carboxyl group is always the most, you can say that, oxidized form of any carbon. So in this case we name it as you can say that we label it as carbon number 1. So after first identifying the parent chain, the second step was to identify, after these two steps we have to identify the substituents and assign each substituent the particular locator and number on the parent chain. So we have already the parent name, and then we have defined the position of carboxyl group as number 1, because carboxyl group can always be at the end of the chain, because it can only have one connectivity with the chain. And the third step is we have to locate the other substituents on the main chain, giving them number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, any these such number. And then the next step in here is the when we have to write the name, then we have to arrange the name of the substituents in alphabetical order in the systematic name of polysubstituted carboxylic acid. Alright, now we are going to see an example of this systematic nomenclature of substituted carboxylic acid. The example written here has the structure as shown here, and then the very first step, if we remember, the first step in the nomenclature or naming of these substituted carboxylic acid was we have to identify the longest continuous chain containing the carboxyl group. So in this case we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbons. You can say that we have 1, 2, 3 and 4, but remember that if it start from here, carboxyl group gets position 1, but in this case it gets position number 2. So we have to give it the lowest possible position to carboxyl group, because the total number of carbon, they stay the same here. So, and also phenyl group is taken as a substituent here. So from the total number of carbons, we take the parent name as butane. So after dropping E, we are going to add OIC acid. So oic acid, it becomes butanoic acid here. And if we talk about substituents, because we have already numbered these carbon atoms, so on position number 2 we have methyl, position number 3 we have formyl, and position number 4 we have this phenyl group present. Okay, after we have these all substituents here with their proper locations assigned, and then we have to arrange these substituents, and then we have to arrange them in the alphabetical order. So it means that formyl shall come first, and then methyl, and then after that we have phenyl group. So the name goes 3 formyl, 2 methyl, 4 phenyl butanoic acid. So it means that all other substituted aliphatic monocarboxylic acids, they are named using the a different kind of, you can say that, rule is established for the compounds having a carboxyl group on a cyclic skeleton. It's like, because carboxyl group cannot be a part of, you can say that, because COOH can always be present at the end of the chain. So it means that carboxyl group carboxyl group cannot be present within the cycle. So cyclic carboxylic acids are the one where carboxyl group is present with the ring type structure. It is directly attached to the ring. So how we can name them? We just name the cyclic structure itself by using its parent name, and then after that we add the suffix, that is the carboxylic acid. Just like we have this 6-membered ring here, so we say that this is basically cyclohexane if it was an alkane. So after that what we do, that cyclohexane carbaldehyde, or it could be if there is formyl group here and if this is carboxyl group here, then we name is that cyclohexane carboxylic acid. So while naming these compounds we have to remember this thing, that the number of carbon atom to be included in this cycloalkane part, they are just the number of carbon atom in this cyclic part. This carbon atom of I can say the carbon count is not, doesn't include this carboxyl carbon here, unlike the previous rule where we count carboxyl carbon as part of the parent chain. So in this case we have carboxyl group as a side chain, and then we the parent chain is considered to be cyclohexane. And also by convention we always take carboxyl as a substitute, as a main you can say that C1 of the ring, because here it is, if this is C1 then we say that carboxyl group should always be present. Okay, there are two more examples of this substituted carboxylic acid, where carboxylic acid is present as a substituent attached to a ring, directly to a ring. So in this case, as we have already discussed, that carboxylic acid is basically always present on the number 1 position of this you can say the ring skeleton, and it is always the ring skeleton itself, it is the name of the ring skeleton is placed before the suffix, that is the carboxylic acid. Just like in the first example, here we have this carbon skeleton, that is the 6-membered ring here, and then there is a carboxyl group attached, and there is also hydroxyl group attached. But always you have to remember that though the parent alkane, it is considered to be cyclohexane, but here carboxyl group, it is mentioned as a carboxylic acid at the end of the name, but here the numbering start from the position where carboxyl group is attached. So OH is given the minimum possible position, that goes to be 3 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 is 3 hydroxyl, not 5 hydroxyl. So 3 hydroxyl cyclohexane followed by the suffix carboxylic acid. And same goes for if we have a stereochemistry mentioned here, like we have carboxyl group is out of the plane and hydroxyl is into the plane. So we can at every position we can check the stereochemistry, either it could be clockwise or anti-clockwise. Just like in this case it is R, so 1 R is mentioned, and then 3, if it is R, then also again 1 R 3 R is mentioned before the when we start the naming of this particular carboxylic. So if we talk about benzoic acid, because benzoic acid is commonly known name, and also because some common names of compounds are so much in use that their IUPAC names, they are not included, they are not used to be called by their IUPAC systematic name. So this is always be benzoic acid instead of benzene carboxylic acid. But if we follow this systematic rule, then we consider this parent chain as benzene, and then carboxyl group is carboxylic acid is added as a suffix. So this one should. Then about the substituent present on these when we have aromatic carboxylic acid, just like when we have discussed already that benzoic acid is a well established name for benzene carboxylic acid. But in this case what we have to do, that when we have other substituents attached to this benzoic acid, so how we can name this benzoic acid? So you have to remember one thing, that always benzoic acid, that is the carboxyl group, is given the first you can say the number 1 position. So in this case the other groups they are numbered as giving carboxyl group as number position 1. So it means that any other group present shall be either 2, 3 or 4 position according to their position on the benzene ring relative to carboxyl group. Like we have examples here, benzoic acid, if we consider this carboxyl group and the benzene skeleton itself, then this is benzoic acid, that is the parent compound. So hydroxyl and CH3, they are counted as a substituents present on the benzene ring. So it means that hydroxyl and methane or methyl group should be given the lowest possible number. So in this case 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So it means that 3 and 4 are the substituent location. Otherwise 1, 2, 3 and 4 or 5 shouldn't be appropriate, because the total sum of you can say that substituent numbers, it should be the least one in this case. So you can say that substituent should have the least number. So the 3, 4 are the appropriate numbers. So hydroxyl and methyl, hydroxyl come first in the alphabetical order. So in this case we go 3-hydroxy 4-methyl benzoic acid, or you can say that according to systematic nomenclature or IUPAC nomenclature, its name should be 3-hydroxy 4-methyl benzene carboxylic acid. So talking about the other example here, that we have nitro group present and formyl group. So in this case we have to start again numbering from position number 1. So in this case, if we start numbering, if we go in the anti-clockwise way, so we have 2 and 5 positions, but if we go from, so the sum goes to be 7. But in this case, if we start numbering in the clockwise direction, the numbering goes 3 and 6, that goes to be 9. So it means that 7 is less, we go in the anti-clockwise direction. So in this case we say that in this case we can number if we talk about the relative alphabetical order, then formyl come first and nitro comes later. So it means that we have 2 formyl and 5 nitro present in here, and carboxyl shall be on the position number 1. So we can like this, that 2 formyl 5 nitro benzoic acid are according to IUPAC nomenclature, though it is not commonly used this name, we always call it as 2 formyl 5 nitro benzoic acid, or you can say that we have 2 formyl 5. Alright, here we have a systematic nomenclature of dicarboxylic acid. When we talk about dicarboxylic acid, it means these are the compounds that have 2 carboxyl units attached. So it means that the basic formula is the same, that we name them by dioic acid type rule, and then what we do, that we add, like if it is monocarboxylic acid, we write it as oic acid, and if it is dicarboxylic acid, we write it as dioic acid. So the parent name, that is alkane, so that whole name becomes alkane dioic acid. Just like we have, if the 2 carbons attached together and both of them are part of carboxyl group, then just like in the first example here, in the first example you can see that basically this compound is the commonly used name, that is oxalic acid, but if you name it by systematic nomenclature, then it goes to be alkane dioic, so it is 2 carbon, that's why we call it as ethane dioic acid. The second example, when we have 3 carbon atoms and 2 of them are carboxylic carbon, and the third one is you can say the other CH2 group, then we have it, the common name is malonic acid, and the systematic name goes to be propane dioic acid. The next compound in the same homologous series is succinic acid, having 4 carbon atoms. Because the carboxyl group can only be present at the end of the chain, so that's why we have CH2 or methylene groups in the middle, and we call it as butane dioic acid by IUPAC nomenclature. And then pentane dioic acid has a common name, that is glutaric acid, it has 5 carbon skeleton. And then we have hexane dioic acid containing 6 carbon atoms, 2 of them are carboxylic carbon and the rest are methylene carbon, and then we call it as adipic acid and palmilic acid. So here are the general rules for the naming of the substituted dicarboxylic acids. The systematic name of an aliphatic dicarboxylic acid, it is derived by we have to just like always we have to remember that we have to look for the parent chain that contain 2 carboxylic acid. We cannot leave any one of these two carboxylic acid out of the parent chain. So though on one side if it is not the longest continuous chain, but we have to remember that if it is small, but even then it should contain two carboxyl units. So in this case we add the dioic acid at the end of the parent name of parent hydrocarbon. Secondly, then we name the parent chain in such a way that the carboxyl unit they get the lowest possible number, and also the substituents, and the substituents are ordered in the alphabetical order in full name of the dicarboxylic acid. Just the case of this example, the first example here, we have 1 2 3 4 5 carbon skeleton containing 2 carboxylic acid units, and then if you see that on 2 carbon we have ethyl unit attached, on third carbon we have methyl unit attached. Ethyl comes first, so 2 ethyl is here, and then 3 methyl, and because this is 5 carbon skeleton we call it as pentane, and dioic acid, so dioic acid, so the name goes to be 2 ethyl 3 methyl pentane dioic acid. Going to the next example here, we have 1 2 3 4 5. We can start numbering from either end, but you have to be careful that the numbering should give the total sum of these substituent numbers to be lowest. If we start numbering from here, we have substituent at 3 and 4 position. It means the sum goes 7. If we start numbering from here, the sum goes 1 and 2. So it means that here goes the sum less. But even if you notice, there is one more thing, that is the carbon-carbon double bond. Carbon-carbon double bond has priority over other substituent groups, so we have to give it less number. So it means we have 2, 3 and 4 position, that goes to be 9. And then in this case we shall start numbering in such a way that 2 is a position where it gets the lowest number. We give it a name where methyl is present at 3 position, and ethyl is present at 4 position, whereas the carbon-carbon double bond is at carbon number 2. And here we have one more thing, that you have to be consider that this carbon-carbon double bond, either it is cis or trans. So if we see that these carbonyl and CH3, they are on the same side, that's why we call it as they are methyl, and because this one is the larger group, so this large group are on the other side, this one group and this one group, carboxyl group, they are on the opposite direction, we call it as E, or you can say it is basically transalkene. So the numbering goes to be E, it goes first, and then we have 4 ethyl and then 3 methyl, and then we make it as, because this is 5 carbon skeleton, it is. Then we have a few more examples here where we this dicarboxyl carboxylic acid carbons, or you can say carboxylic acid compounds, have cyclic units attached to them. So the compound is named similar way, like this is the parent compound, or you can say cyclohexane, and then we write the numbering of these two carboxyl group as 1 and 2, and if they are on the 1 and 3 position, we write it as 1 and 3. And then if it is the situation that we have benzene as a parent compound, so we write benzene, and one of the group is given 1 position, you have to make sure that CH3 gets the lowest possible position in here. So, and also 1 3 position should be such that we get the total sum lowest, that is 1 3 and 4 here, and in the other case we get 1 2 and 4. So 1 2 and 4 make it 7, while 4 1 and 3 make it 8. Anyways, it can be numbered in such a way that the total sum is the lowest, so we get 4 methyl benzene 1 3 dicarboxylic acid group. Because if we start numbering this way, then this carboxylic acid, it gets numbers 5, so we cannot give number 5 to carboxylic acid group, we have to make it the lowest possible number to dicarboxyl group. Then in the next example you can follow the same way, that these are 1 and 2 groups and 4 position methyl group. Then we have different carboxylic acid derivatives. If you have this type of compound that there is carbonyl attached to this hydroxyl group, we call these compounds as carboxylic acid. Now we have different variants of this carboxylic acid. If OH is replaced by X, we call it as acid halide. If this OH is replaced by OCOR, you can say that you can combine two carboxylic acids by like removing one water molecule. So it means that there is oxygen and then there is another unit like this attached. We call this as acid anhydride, means there is one less water between two acids. And then if you have OR group instead of OH, it means that this is an ester. And if we have NH2 group in place of OH, then we get this NH2. If you have SR group attached here, so we call it as thioester. This is very similar to ester basically. The only difference is oxygen and then sulfur here in thioester. Acyl phosphate, it means that we have phosphate group attached to the this acyl group. Basically this one part comes from the carboxylic acid and the other part is basically phosphate part, and but this one, because this part is we call as phosphate group, phosphorus attached to four oxygens, and this carbonyl is basically attached to alkyl group, we call it as acyl group. So that's why we call it as acyl phosphate. So basically these are all the derivatives of carboxylic acid. They can be prepared from carboxylic acid. If we have a general look on the carboxylic acid derivatives nomenclature, then we know that carboxylic acids are named as from the parent name adding OIC acid at the end. Just like carboxylic acid, we call it as just like alkanoic acid here. And in case of acid chlorides, we add oil chloride, just like we call it as alkanoyl chloride. And then in case of acid anhydride, we call it as oic anhydride, just like acid. So it means that alkanoic anhydride. In case of ester, we carry alkanoate, just like benzoate, just like ethanoate. Basically acetate is the common name for ethanoate. So you can say propanoate basically. Amide is the same name, like we can pentanamide. And then lactone has different common names and also the systematic name, but mostly they are known by the alpha, beta, gamma and eta type of lactones, depending upon the you can say that distance between these two carbons, because two carbons. Coming to the reference books, these are very good books. Jerry Marsh and M. Yunus की book है. Then McMurray. I followed McMurray for a few organic reactions and also some basics of. So you can also see. If you don't have these books, then I can send you these books. So you don't have to worry about the material.